What's up, everyone? Zero here. So if you guys aren't aware already, Thursday, February 20th, Path of Exile 1 is having their Legacy of Fresia event. And what they are doing is they are replacing all 19 Ascendancies with new ones. And from the looks of it, they are completely cracked. Most of them. I didn't put out a video going over each Ascendancy because there is no shortage of those videos, and to be honest with you, there are people that are a lot more capable at build making than me that have put out videos. So if you want an in-depth guide on each Ascendancy, check out Captain Lance, check out Connor Converse. These guys are the best build makers that I know of in Path of Exile. However, I did want to put together a video showing you what I'm going to League Start with. A big thanks to you guys. I finally hit 1,000 subscribers. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the support. I appreciate you guys, and I promise not to let you down. I will be keeping up with my streaming schedule and putting out content when it is relevant and when I feel like I can be helpful. So let's get into it. So if you are not familiar with Bama, it's Blink Arrow, Mirror Arrow. What Mirror Arrow does is it fires an arrow, and wherever that arrow lands, it creates a clone. This clone will attack with Rain of Arrows if it's bombarding clones, and if it's prismatic clones, it'll shoot prismatic arrows at the enemies. What Blink Arrow does is something very similar, except it teleports you to where the arrow lands. In my personal opinion, this is also the strongest leveling skill because every time I use this to level and go through the campaign, I just run over the campaign no problem, even with very minimal gear investment. The only thing is that it requires 2 transfigured gems. Now you can get away with just using one, but you have to make sure that you farm it from the first lab that you do, or you can look for it on the trade site, early league. A lot of the times it's really cheap. Just to show you some real quick gameplay of what this looks like. So as you can see, it does a ton of damage. It is very tanky. It is more than capable of handling all content in the game, including T17 maps and Ubers. In fact, this is how I get my Void Stones pretty much every league. It's an insane build. And what's going to be different this time is with the new Ascendancy, we're going to be able to convert this to poison and do a lot more damage than we are doing right now. I will post the POB in the description. Just a warning, I am not the original author of this build. In fact, I don't know who is. I know that there are a lot of people who make these types of builds. All I'm doing is just adding a leveling section to the POB and just picking my own Ascendancy points. Pretty much the frame of the build was made by somebody else. If you really want a Bama expert, you should check out Prevy or Dreadful. I will link both of them in the descriptions. Those are the go-to guys for Bama, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, especially if you're new to Path of Exile 1, this is a really, really, really fun build to play. You will have no problem doing all content in the game with this build, and it's extremely safe and extremely comfy to play. I really like the play style. So this is what I'm going to be starting with in the new event, except I'm going to be using the Servant of Arakali, the new Shadow Ascendancy. Just to go over the skills with you guys, what this uses is Raise Spectre and Animate Guardian in the chest piece. I use 4 different types of specters. Those will all be in the POB in the description. The Animate Guardian setup will be in the description as well. It just uses boots that drop brittle ground, things like that. You also want to link both your Mirror Arrow and your Blink Arrow into this 6 link because you are going to couple that with Awakened Minion damage, Volatility, Fresh Meat, and elemental damage with attacks. However, we are going to be going poison, so I'm going to be using void manipulation instead of elemental damage. That will be in the POB. The quiver is changing as well because I'm going to be using added chaos damage as well as chaos dot multi. But other than that, it's all pretty much the same. Plus level the minion skills on the helm. Minions have increased life. Minions deal increased damage on the glove. And then we have spell suppression on on the gloves, boots, and helmet. The difference with the new event that's coming up is we are going to be starting from this node right here. So it's actually going to be quicker because the main thing that you need for this build to feel smooth is this bow mastery right here that gives blink arrow and mirror arrow 100% cooldown rate. Because this does have a cooldown naturally, once you quality it up and you get this node, it feels really, really, really smooth. And the cool thing is you can bounce back and forth between blink arrow and mirror arrow. I will be using blink arrow of bombarding clones as well because I really like the rain of arrows. It works really well, especially for poison. We are going to be using an elegant hubris because this is going to give us supreme ostentation, which is going to let us ignore all attributes. So this means we don't have to worry about strength requirements, dex requirements, any of that. So that'll free us up to slap a lot of tattoos on these small attribute nodes. So there are just a few minor changes with what I'm going to be doing with the build in the new event. Just to go over with you real quick what I'm probably going to do, and this is subject to change. However, I will update the POB if anything changes. I'm going to go skin crawlers first, then I'm going to go brood guard, then I'm going to go aspect of the spider, and then I'm also going to go envy because envy is going to give us an aura that gives us increased chaos damage. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I know that we didn't go over every minor detail about this build, but I didn't want to be redundant. So if you check the notes and the calculation tab in the POB, it will have the animate guardian setup, the specter setup, as well as the ascendancy points and the order that I plan to pick them in. So make sure to check that out. Also, just a reminder, make sure to check out Captain Lance, Connor Converse, and Prevy and Dreadful for Bama. I will have them linked in the description. I know some of you guys are coming from Path of Exile 2 and this is going to be your first time trying PoE, so I am going to put together a couple of videos just trying to explain to you guys the differences between the games and maybe help you along your journey. But I do hope to see all of you on Thursday because this event is going to be a lot of fun. If you guys found this video helpful at all, please consider subscribing to the channel and I will see you guys next time. Peace.